Hello and welcome back to the show. So it's finally time for Liquid and Complexity. As you may be aware, Liquid had overtime elsewhere. Now resolved, they lost, and it's time to play their FACEIT League match. So should be starting very shortly indeed. Again, it's going to be on Cash, which I believe is the pick of Liquid. Am I mistaken? I am not mistaken. And interestingly,
right.
actually, there's a link to Titan playing on Overpass earlier today. In the way that Liquid, way back when, started playing their pistol rounds on the CT side of Cash, playing the retake, we almost saw something similar to that from Titan on Overpass, which didn't work, but it was interesting, you know, and you have to experiment with these things to see how they go. But again, expecting to see interesting pistol rounds from the CTs, and Liquid do vary them as well. As you might agree, they are maybe the most studied, or most disciplined is probably a better term.
Yeah.
Most disciplined team, but they're starting on the T side, it seems.
And to remove some ambiguity there very briefly, by discipline we mean like they'll try to play situations as safely as possible. They'll try to play the best Counter Strike.
Yes, trying to play as correct as possible.
Yeah.
And with minimal sloppiness.
So here's the A retake, and Valence has got the kit and the smoke. Smoke is very important in the retake strategies because when you give a bomb site, you allow the teams to get positioning, to get just a really nice setup straight away. And so the smoke allows you to pressure the bomb and force them out of positions as you go for the smoke defuse threat.
What's interesting is that, well, maybe we'll get a chance to talk about it in a second, but just bear in mind that Sanks is playing on short at the moment. Semphis goes down in the Z connector, and there's two people going for a flank towards B maybe, but they're putting themselves in a crossfire, and that's going to be a very interesting way to get onto the sites with a two-man advantage now for Liquid.
Yeah, it's a good spot here to get the bomb down. It's very safe, quite visible as well. Sanks is going to be in with a fast frag. Fugly's going to come in for a trade as well. Sanks still alive though, 1 and 2. He can make this actually happen at this point. But there's Fugly. He's got himself the kill, and he'll save the round there for his team.
If we go back to the initial layout of the Complexity side, they had one player on car. You can't hear the squeaky door open if you are playing from the car position, so you have to rely on the person playing mid to short rotate to see the door open. So like, but if Sanks isn't playing there, I think Sanks is looking for like an early rush towards A to try and spot it. Maybe, I don't know. But if he's not watching the squeaky door from short, then the T's can essentially just all pile into A, fire squeaky door, and no one will be any the wiser if you have a read on how the pistol's going to be played.
I think we saw that happen recently. Did we see that happen recently? I think we saw something like that recently. We cast a lot. We cast a lot of Counter Strike, James. So we probably did. Odds are.
We may have done, but maybe I wasn't paying attention at the time. But it doesn't stick out to me, I'd say. Rocker looking for a dancing partner here in TT Spawn.
It does look like he's just doing some pirouettes there. That's pretty awesome. Honestly, more of that.
Yeah, so you can see there's just a coach needs to go back into the coach role. We should be resuming the match very shortly. So, good start for Liquid. See Fugly going straight for the AK-47. Curious to see what the rest of his team will do. You can see a Dren there with the Mac-10. But Alu style, I'm sure he's going to be saving for the AWP. What will Nitro and Hiko do? We are about to find out.
Okay, so one thing that's going to be cool to see is whether Rock is still pirouetting around. There you go. Oh, he's going for it still. I do that sometimes. It's quite fun. Anyway, Rocker is going to be moving quickly to the event area, so we won't get a stack play from Complexity with these pistols. They actually don't really invest all that much. They kind of just go with light investment, pulsing it up. And not much damage is going to be done. It's just automatic left alive by the A site. So this is a very good round for Liquid. And Liquid are a team I would expect to play a lot of clean anti-ecos.
I'm surprised that Complexity even went to the sandbags area. Liquid are always going to molly you if you stand in that position, especially on an anti-eco. Every single time you're going to get mollied there. And a team like Complexity should know that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing these anti-eco rounds from Liquid. Because, you know, we talked about them being one of the most disciplined teams and studied teams. And a part of that is having really good anti-ecos, because that's the round which you can kind of control or make the most consistent. Out of all the rounds in the game, of the most important are going to be your anti-ecos, and they are very important because you have big advantages there that are ready to be exploited. All it takes is just some drills. That's what you need.
So the final eco for Complexity. And Liquid just running down the B-bomb site very quickly. Not much to report here, really. Sanks and Roka remain. Roka's just going to wait for it all to end.
He doesn't want to take part, James.
He doesn't want to get involved.
He seems a little bit confused.
Sanks remains over towards the A-bomb site. So you can see Liquid set up on that occasion was to just hold the vents for a rotation from the CTs. And now Sanks is alone. You can see he's trying to save his deagle for the next round, maybe, or waiting for the hunt to begin. The aim punch is going to be too much, and he will fall to Nitro.
So they lost one player in the 2 rounds. That's pretty good. It's pretty good for the monies. And Complexity, they didn't invest too heavily, so they have a good buy coming in. And one thing about Complexity and Semphis is that I see Semphis do these really deep mid peaks with the OWP quite a lot. And I feel like Liquid are going to be a team that can be quite strong and actually, I mean, they will study. Like for example, we saw NIP playing earlier today, and they were playing against Envious on Mirage. And it was there was a situation where Envious, if you watch a lot of their demos and if you cast a lot of their games like we do, you see a lot of trends in their play, and it became quite apparent that NIP had not studied really what NIP were doing, or they decided just to not think about it, because they ended up losing a round, which to a very predictable play. And I don't think Liquid are going to be surprised by some of the craziness from Semphis.
So we've got double smokes coming out from the T side, smoking off Zed Connector and White Box. So if there was an orb to be had from Semphis, it's not going to be used in mid anytime soon. He is going to though get the frag on Nitro with the M4 standing tall in mid. Sanks coming in as well, so those smokes have been ineffective for the Liquid side. Losing 2 players and the bomb. That's a nice smoke actually, which will allow the T's to throw pop flashes into it, but there are many CTs to contend with there. I'm sure one of them is looking away from any pop flashes, indeed. That might just be the case. So 4 people in mid now for the CTs. Looking to trade, and there comes the trade. So Nico left man standing, he's going to go down as well. Complexity survive with 4 players. Again, very surprising that they got 2 frags there at the beginning, despite having Zed Connector and White Cube smoked off.
Yeah, it looks pretty. Well, it's always a little bit gambly if you're playing against the 1-3-1 to get the fast mid play. In there, of course, you can't know that. You can't play the super fast mid play and know what you're up against because you just don't have any information yet. But well, we'll see. Another buy coming onto Liquid. Could have been a good round to lose potentially if they storm on through this one and get a clean round. But Sanks is going to drop the bomber. Alicia just go down straight away. There's no trade just yet, and in they go now. So Liquid is a little bit sloppy on some of these plays. Complexity capitalizing well too.
So the same thing has more or less happened again. Looks like Liquid going for White Box and Zed Connector smokes as opposed to all of smokes in the middle, and it hasn't paid off. They've lost the bomb in mid twice. This time they've managed to pick it up and bring it back to a 2 versus 2. But again, the bomb was in no man's land at the very beginning. Fortunately, they had more nades, more smokes to cover and collect. You can see them walking now in unison towards the A site, or maybe they'll head to B after all.
Yeah, I mean that's what sucks for Complexity really, is because do they gamble on a site together, or do they just play safe positions to spot and then retake together, or do they actually play deep, one on either side? These are like the 3 main options, and none of them are particularly awesome. The Liquid side definitely have the advantage here. That said, they are splitting up a little bit. They will go for the wrap onto the A-bomb site, and okay, automatically spot one player. That's going to cue the rotation out of the way. Oh, and the drone gets a shot onto automatic, and that will be the frag. So really awesome round now for Liquid. Should be able to close this one out from this position.
Well, let's see. Ooh, not sure if he was just guessing there. I think maybe he was. The smoke on short, what lies behind it? Has he any idea? Which direction does he look in? He's got to look for the potential trade fragger as well as the initial one. It will be the potential trade fragger, Hiko, to take him down in that scenario. So the bait was well laid and did the trick for Liquid. Back to winning ways. Complexity get reset early on.
So Complexity Once again, you're not trying to force it up or anything like that in this situation, just going for some pistols. And we have to look and focus on the anti-eco approach from Liquid again, because they know that it's going to be eco. So sending players over the boost, of course, because this is, it's hard for the CDs to capitalize on an engagement there if you do get taken out. Well, they can't even get your gun, so it's pretty safe. Good vantage point. You can see you can get the Molotov there for sandbags. And generally speaking, it's a nice approach. And once you have middle, you can easily build down short with some nades. You should be able to take the A-bomb side as well. And that's basically what Liquid are going for.
That was quite a novel flashbang outside of the B bomb site, almost bouncing it off the ceiling for a pop flash. Regardless, the bomb should go down towards the A bomb site now. We should see Complexity start to move in the direction of the A bomb site, and that's a good bullet in the direction of Pico's face. Heavily tagged towards A main. I wouldn't peek too much, Adren. But keep the numbers alive for it. Seems that a boost coming in will allow him to peek over towards short. Sort of a nice nade onto Rocker. Valen's coming in for an early engagement as well, or an engagement. Sanks is heavily tagged. Not much to lose here on the Complexity side. Shot through the smoke will be frustrating for Complexity, but again, it was an eco for them.
Yeah, 5-1 now. Liquid climbing those T rounds. Earlier today, we saw Fnatic picking the T side after winning the pistol. After winning the knife round against Hellraisers. And, I think there's a lot of merit in that these days. I think a lot of teams are finding things a little bit stronger on the T side. So off to a good start, unexpected perhaps. Len's close with the mag in middle. And he should have been able to hit a stepping there, because I don't think Liquid were shy at all and playing exactly what's going on with those sound cues. And in goes Alish, takes down Sank straight away. And pop flash from him automatic. He goes through and he might just find a second kill. He won't, he'll get stopped by Hiko. But he did do some damage there. However, it might not be enough here, as it's just one player left now. Semphis, after all the dust settles, will be there with the AWP. I don't know that you'll want to go for this.
Yep, so he's been left alone with his big green gun. There's a flank coming in all the way through T-spawn towards the B-bomb site. I'm sure he will expect some kind of flank coming eventually. Fugly, I think, is on the hunt, just moving slowly. Team Liquid holding the rest of the team towards A for the time being. PK with a shoulder peek, but it's a bit of too much shoulder. And Semphis again, always dangerous when he's trying to save the AWP, can end up being very costly for his opponents, as you can see. Will he survive though? No, he will not, and that's what counts at the end of the day. 6-1, no guns for Complexity. More important than the Liquid team keeping a hold of their weapons. They will go for the full buy once more. And I think they have an AWP in tow as well. Indeed they do. Semphis has been taken by Adren.
Yeah, so this is not the best start in the world for Complexity. Adren, I mean, they got the kill on the AWP, Semphis, and even picked it up, so pretty big play in the end. Now, we've seen pretty much the same round out of Complexity when it comes to these sorts of situations and their buys as well. And we see a different anti-eco. It looks fairly similar. Nitro's just kind of going for it by himself, though, up short, up middle. Definitely a risky play, as if there was to be a strategy somewhere around here, he could definitely kill Nitro and pick up his weapon, but he's going to clear house and basically discover that the A-bomb site is up for grabs. And he is not stopping here, just using these CTs as just almost shooting dummies for him to train on. There's only 2 left now.
So Rocco with the consolation frag. That AK is going to be too far away for him to retrieve. So they will just continue with the pistols. And Liquid are going to move very shortly to 7-1. So Fugly and Co continuing the chase. Flynn's doing what he can to save his 5-7 in the vents. Oh, he's going to get himself an AK. Is there enough time for him to hide? Rocker gets taken down and he will just about survive this. Just about survive. So an AK has been collected for the next round. And Complexity will be back on the buy. Let's see if they can get another round on the board here.
Absolutely. That's AWP of Adrenaline. I'm still wondering how he's going to be using it in rounds like this. We'll get a 1-3-1 setup at the start for Complexity. Again, it's strong at dealing with fast mid-aggression, as is the incendiary from the CTs there to deny that mid-aggression. And to allow Complexity to safely position themselves there as well. and the counter boost is always a bit of a threat in a round like this, but they're going to back away, and the nades of Team Liquid will also deter them from making some forward plays, as Lucius will go over the top with Adren. He'll get taken down by Semtis, and Adren can't really trade him. Oh, that's a great shot though, finds Valens through the white box, and Fugly's going to catch Semtis, who had pushed middle, and now this is a bit of a crazy situation for Complexity to handle.
Yeah, so they weren't going to rest their laurels there, just going for yet more aggression, looking to close out the round and really squash the numbers of Team Liquid, but it's gone back in their favor now. Just punishing the peaks of the CTs, punishing the peaks through T-Warehouse, punishing the peak on the white box. Fugly though, just down to 6 HP with the AK. Bomb still in control of Team Liquid, and the aggression continues towards main from Automatic, although he's moving towards short now, as you can see. He's trying to watch his 6, as you might say in America. So he sees that there's a split potential happening, and I think his teammate is considering going for a rotation here.
Yeah, this is a nice setup from Liquids. 2 men through A main. Rocket is coming though. And Automatic, is he going to get some damage here? Moves through the smoke. They may have heard him step. Oh no, he's going to take both players down. That should be the GG right there, at least in this round. As Dren not going to get any consolation frags for his team either. Liquid lose another round, but at least Dren's saved, and there's quite a bit of money on Liquid, so they're not going to be too worried. It's instead going to be Complexity who should be worried, having only survived with 2 players, and having to spend all their money, all their bank, so they can get reset again if they're not careful.
Alright, see if Complexity can get any momentum together. 2 kits on the side, should it come down to that. Not going to be too aggressive just yet. Valens is playing under the boost at the moment. Just 1 towards A, basically 3 towards mid, 1 playing A rotate. Liquid boosting players up. Are they going to go for an execute? Adren not fast enough on the trigger there. Valens goes down for the CTs, however. So man lost on both sides. Drop down for Team Liquid though.
Semtis has a bit of an angle there on middle with that AWP. Bit crazy here for Nitro. I'm not sure if that smoke's going to be, should be dissipating pretty soon at this point. As he makes his way across, and the angle, oh, nice shot there, finds the head of Semtis, and that's a really, really important kill right now, and Nitro's even going to take down Sanks. And with that kill, you kind of feel like Liquid will just win this round outright, unless Rocket gets some crazy swing action, but he's going to get buried straight away by Fugly.
So indeed, they will be reset immediately. Can they save this 1 AK? Automatic's carrying 7.5k almost. Ooh, goes for shot. Will go down. Fugly to trade, and there we go. Complexity lose all their weapons once again, and now can Liquid capitalize on this and really finish this with a crushing score? Could we be headed to a 13-2, 12-3 here for Liquid?
It does kind of seem like that is quite possible from this position. Complexity have had quite a lot of close rounds though, but generally speaking, Liquid seem to be kind of out-shooting them and out-maneuvering them in most situations. It's also funny that Complexity and Firehouse have put a lot of effort into taking mid early on in the rounds, which means that if Liquid went for a very fast B or A play, it's very likely that they could catch Complexity out of position with not enough players on the bomb sites, because that's one of the ways that you punish a team that always 1-3-1s. That's how you punish it. It's a really fast play on one of the bomb sites. That said, though, what Liquid have been doing is been working pretty well, to be honest. And this anti-eco for them is looking pretty good so far as well.
Okay, so they're going to move into the B-bomb site. Seemingly identified that the stack is not there. So we will watch Complexity run into the bullets of Team Liquid, presumably. As the retake is looking very unlikely, to say the least. So Complexity may set up to contain the T's on the site, try and play for exit frags, try and steal a weapon where they can. Liquid, knowing that, going to start advancing away from the bomb site before it even gets planted. Only Semphis and Sanks remaining now. Let's try and salvage whatever they can. Down goes Sanks, Semphis left with 32 HP. Going to change up his position. Maybe see if he can take someone by surprise. Should hear the sound of Elite coming in. Nice strafe. Goes straight for the headshot, but it's not enough damage. Elite survives with 7 HP.
So money is still looking really good for Liquid, of course, having just picked up that round. And Complexity will get the buy-in, but Mag on automatic, a little bit scarce on the grenades, and there's a couple of famous as well. No AWP inside, definitely spells desperate times for Complexity. And we'll see a lot of players, 3 for Complexity into the A bomb site straight away. They're going for a bit of an aggression here. It might work out very well because Liquid are going for a faster play towards the A bomb site. So 2 players in the door area. Hiko's going to take down 1, but the trade comes in immediately as the rest of Liquid go through A main into that A site. They are aware that Squeaky is lost at the moment, and Liquid's looking pretty fantastic thanks to Nitro. He's getting himself some entries, and all of a sudden that round is just closed down. It looked like there was potential for Complexity, but they were not able to close the right kills.
So 3 rounds remaining now. Complexity with 2.5k. Looks like it's going to be another eco for them. So many ecos for Complexity in this round, and they continue here. And look at the Molotovs on the Liquid side. 4 players with Molotovs again. We should see that Sandbags Molotov come out to play if Liquid choose to take mid again. Double nades, look at that. Just playing, Complexity playing into the thoughts of Team Liquid being read like a book.
It's going to be pretty tough here for Complexity to pull out any damage even. And as you said, we don't have many rounds left, so worried if they lose 3 or 4 players. Get the initial entry there from Hiko, and the nades are good from Liquid as well. We're going to see them throwing all those nades to deposition the CTs if they're into these more annoying angles. And a nice shot to the chest there from Adren onto Sanks, and it's going to be that. Oh, that's going to be that. Rather, I think that's how you say it. That will be that in that round. That.
2 rounds left for Complexity to try and get a semi-respectable score on the CT side. Absolute dominance from Liquid so far. Again, the 3 Molotovs this time on the Liquid team. Again, being meticulous. And I like how they didn't push mid in that previous round once that smoke went down. They can throw pop flashes through it, but they didn't want the variance, didn't need the variance. Adren with a nice angle onto automatic, kind of taken down early.
Going back actually a little bit from A back in towards middle. It seems as Hiko continues to harass the door, but maybe they're just swapping the bomb out, going for the boost. Rocket is below though. Will they actually check this correctly? Nate's going over the top as well. There was 1 player boosted now. And Nitro will go in. He'll spot Rocket immediately. And take down Semphis too. So systematic dismantling of the Complexity defense. As Complexity find themselves, they need to be proactive. At each junction, they will falter. And that's 12-2 now for Liquid. They're making quick work of Complexity here.
Yeah, so this is the last round of the first half. Let's look at what Complexity have to offer here. 2 FAMASs, the M4, and then other random stuff. So looking fairly dire for them. Again, if they win the pistol on the second half, then who knows how far they can go, how much momentum they can carry. Got 2 players headed towards A main at the moment. Again, that's something Flipside like to do with well that it holding the, or he would be holding the angle from the entrance with an AWP, and somebody close will be behind the box with an AK-47. There you go, Nitro in mid going to take down Sanks. It's causing a bit of a rotation, but Complexity have nobody over towards the A bomb site. The bomb is still left passive in T warehouse at the moment, could go in either direction.
Nitro with the kill onto Rocker though, and things are slowly getting worse and worse for Complexity in this one. Automatic playing behind the smoke there in the A site, but he gets snuffed out by Alish and Valence, but there's not much they can really do in this round. Adren almost shooting his teammate in the back there. I think he was squeezing the trigger, but he managed to refrain. Almost been discovered by Valence. I'm not sure if he knows it, but I don't know if that already matters. There's a bunch of Liquid players who are there to assassinate him. 13-2, and well, Complexity, if they don't win the fifth round, it's over. It is over for them. CSGO.com. You're not impressed with that?
It was alright, I guess. Not bad for 2:45 in the morning, Dan.
Thank you.
I'll tell you that much. look at the frags on complexity. The most is 7. 4 of them have 7 frags, and Rocket has 2. They're playing a CT side, well they were, but now they have the freedom of the ET side, where he says Nitro on 21 frags, for example. Only Hiko has the same amount of frags as the complexity players. And he is normally a lurker on this map. Well, there we go. Complexity boosting 3 up. What will they do with this? Liquid playing a retake now, even more passive than before. Look at this. They've got a 3-man push coming through B. I would like to one day see just a full squeaky push against Liquid on A. So here we go. They're going to rotate 2 players back towards CT spawn, coming in together for a full retake. But there's a flank coming in from Memphis. There it is. Hiko goes down. He spins back, but he can't take down the lead. He's going to trade for him.
Yeah, Dren's going to go in now. He's going to, finds snap on the Sanks. There's a really good shot there. Sanks almost into a safe position, but not quite. His Liquid player's quite low though. It's a couple on half health, and Fugly is straight low. But looks like they're going to get a lot of damage done here. 2 players left here for Complexity. Automatic playing the door now will take down 1. And it's Rocket on quad. Automatic will get taken down, and Rocket as well by quad so in the end. So Defuse comes in plenty of time, and Liquid look to be potentially closing this one out very quickly. Even stronger result from them against Complexity than Luminosity against Winter Fox previously on Train.
Okay, so 2 rounds to go for Liquid to take this match. Complexity 12 rounds behind.
They should force buy here, really. Yeah, they did.
Indeed they have, yeah. 12k being carried by the Complexity side versus a 20.5 of Liquid's by P90s, M4s, the one FAMAS coming out. We've got a fast break towards B here from Complexity, but Elise is shutting them down. Still in the headshot area, and Sank's going to peek out. He was heavily tagged already. His teammate is not going to follow him up. There will be no trades. Rocket will get taken down, leaving Semphis alone versus 5.
Yeah, not good odds, to be honest. Semphis simply did down, and well, they didn't get a bomb plant either, or any frags, so their money really sucks. It really sucks. They will probably just rush A or B again, and Liquid will probably just win, James. That's my prediction.
It's possible.
They got P90s, man. Come on.
Yeah, P90s versus Eagles. Only one will survive. 3 smokes on the Complexity side. Automatic going for that ranged frag, but he's going to take a nade for his woes. And A main has been shut off by Nitro, who has a P90 behind that smoke. So good luck to anybody who chooses to cross the path. Chooses to cross the path. Who may choose to cross the path.
Okay, so I like this close position. Oh my god, I don't know that he could even see automatic there, but that was, I guess he would have heard something around the position, and the P90s are doing the damage. You better shut that door. Don't like it when people leave the doors open. 3 players left for Complexity now. They are close to B storage. Sorry, to B bomb site right now. Very pretty good there from Rocket. But in comes Buckley standing on his teammate's head to kill him, and Sanks will eliminate him, but the health on Sanks and Valen's last 2 players is very low, and they can't work their way into the bomb site, which is kind of puts them in a bit of a predicament.
Down goes the bomb. Sanks with 22 HP is surely going to get taken down, and indeed he will. Disappear very quickly indeed. 16-2 for Team Liquid. Very easy looking game for them. So one more match to come, which will be in just over 10 minutes. That's going to be, I believe, Winter Fox and Luminosity?
No.
What am I talking about?
Cloud9.
Cloud9 and Luminosity. So that should be a really good one. And that is going to be on Overpass. So it might be a bit of a longer map than the first 2. Anyway, we'll see you back here in about 11 minutes.